Hi, and welcome to the Health Begins with Mom show. I am Dorit, your host. On this podcast, I will share insights and interviews on health, parenting, and explore the question of what does it take to thrive as women, wives, and mothers. Now, let's get going with today's episode. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Health Begins with Mom podcast. This is Dorit, your host. Today on the show, it is going to be a little bit different. Today I have decided to launch the entire 5-day challenge, which I was talking about last time over here at the podcast. I know a lot of you are podcast listeners, and so I decided to make it a little bit easier for you so that you have the audio version available as well on top of the video version that is available over at my Facebook page. So it's Dorit at Health Begins with Mom, and also over at my Instagram page, so at Health Begins with Mom. So I hope you enjoy it. It was a lot of fun for me to deliver this content, to create and deliver this content. Got a lot of great feedback, and I hope you will enjoy it as well. So with that said, let's head on over into day one of the From Suck Dry to Feeling Strong, Energized, and Sexier as a woman, wife, and a mother. Enjoy. All right, we are live. Yay! You guys, the reason I will be kind of flipping back and forth from here to here is because I am going live in two different places. So this is Facebook. This is my Facebook page, and this is Instagram. So, and if you see me looking down, that's because this is where my computer is, and I will refer back here, down here for notes and, for a couple other things. This is super exciting. Just give me 1 second to share this live in my private group so that women there know. Yay! I see people are joining. That's amazing. Now for a couple other things. Cool. So here we go. Share. This is super exciting. Just give me 1 second. Okay. To share this live. While you're waiting, ladies, make sure to give this video a like or even a heart. This way we are helping the Facebook algorithms to boost this video and make it be seen to many women. So if you can help me with that, that would be amazing. All right, so this goes on my timeline. Cool. I don't want to hear myself a million times. Okay. This is so exciting. I can't wait for you guys to learn about the feminine current. Okay. I see my husband is also joining us. Hello, husband. Thank you for the beautiful setup that you've created for me. Okay. All right. So that's it. So we are live. I hope you can see me inside of my Facebook group, the Busy Moms Get Healthy Village, and also from within my personal Facebook page. So we are live to start. We're ready to start. Make sure if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I will make sure to answer as many of them as I possibly can. I don't promise to get to all of them because I really want to keep this video short, this training short. But just know that you can reach me at any point. Whether you need to ask me a question about the female daily tracking sheet, which you should have printed at least 5 copies by now and have them handy for you. We will need this for every day of the challenge. And, any other question or comment or concern that you have, feel free to either DM me or drop a comment and all of that. I'm super available for you. I want you to succeed. I want you to finally get out of the state of being sucked dry, overwhelmed, uninspired, unmotivated, and just feeling blah. And start feeling stronger, more energized, and more magnetic, and even sexier as a woman, wife, and a mother. I know that this is possible. I've done it in my own life, and I've helped other women to get to this too, and I want you to have this as well. All right, so like I said, welcome. This is super exciting. This is day one of the 5-day challenge, and the challenge is called also it's designed to take you from feeling like you are sucked dry to feeling stronger, more energized, and sexier as a woman, wife, and a mother. Also, I want to ask you guys, please, 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 to give this video a thumbs up. Even if you can give it a heart, it's better. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but for those of you who are new to join this video, this helps the Facebook algorithm to boost this video and help more women, more moms to see it. So if you can do that right now, that would be amazing. All right. And like I said, the reason I'm looking down is because I have my computer here and I have my notes. So it's not because I'm ignoring you guys. It's just because I want to keep this organized, and I have the tendency to talk more than necessary. And I think my husband watching, and he can say yes. So I'm just keeping myself on track here. All right, cool. So let me introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Dorit, Dorit Palvanov. I am a wife, and I'm also a mama of 3 girls. My girls are almost 10, 7, and 3. I'm also a registered holistic nutritionist, and I'm a female desire coach. I'm also the founder and creator of the Health Begins with Mom podcast, and I'm also the creator of the revolutionary health program for women called the Feminine Current course, which I will be talking about throughout the entire challenge, and will be inviting you to join after this challenge is over. So this challenge is really designed to give you a taste of what is possible. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I must learn this stuff, I must learn the system, I must know what this lady is talking about, then just know that it will be available for you. And my job is really, I have the best job ever. I work with moms who want to improve their libido and their sex drive. And I take them from feeling sucked dry to feeling stronger, more energized, and have that juice, that flirting of life with life that they and I, and I'm sure you also all crave so much. Why am I tearing up? I have no idea. Okay. Damn makeup. And here's my story. So about 5 years ago, I really struggled. Like, when I say struggled, I mean it. It was really bad. I've had low energy. I've had severe burnout. I've had headaches. I couldn't sleep at night. And if I would fall asleep, I would wake up multiple times in a day. I had acne. I had really bad skin issues. I had severe low back pain. I was gaining weight like crazy, but I was unable to lose it no matter how well I ate and how much I exercised. And I think a lot of you will resonate with this, right? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. As women, especially after childbirth, it is so difficult to stay on track with weight, and we are all craving so much to go back to our pre-baby's weight. And so I do believe that it's possible, and stay tuned, we will talk about this throughout the entire challenge, but that was something I definitely struggled with. And really all of this stuff, along with my training as a registered holistic nutritionist and, working in this field and seeing that this was not just my problem, it all came down to one huge conclusion. And that conclusion was that my life was
super unsustainable, super unsustainable. There were so many moving pieces in my life that made it unsustainable. So my kids' school, my kids' activities, my marriage, oh my gosh, my spending time with my husband, having fun together became totally not important, because who the heck has time for fun, right? And so how these are the biggest kind of moving pieces of my life. But let's talk a little bit more about how an unsustainable life looks and feel like. And lady, when you're hearing me sharing this and you're like, yes, me too, I want you to let me know. So either give me a wave. Hi, Instagram, I see you guys are waving to me. Or over at Facebook, give me a thumbs up. Make sure, say yes, me too in the comments, so that I know that this resonates. So an unsustainable life looks and feels like it's hard, like everything feels hard. And you guys, I'm not a lazy person, my brain, my inner mean girl would say, you're lazy, what's wrong with you, why can't you put your shit together? And the thing was that I wasn't lazy. I was ready. I really wanted to do good and give out of myself to my family, to myself, to really be nurturing and have a great life, but it still felt hard. I felt constantly like I was rushed, like I was late to somewhere all the time. I had zero time for myself, or at least I haven't prioritized myself enough to put myself on, this importance list. My life felt complicated, complex. It felt unmotivating. It felt uninspiring. And the worst thing for me was that I didn't want to spend time with my kids. I kind of consciously and maybe even unconsciously started avoiding them. In the morning, rush, go. I really wanted them to go to school as soon as possible. But then when they came back home, I would make sure that, I have the dinner ready and all the things, all the logistics taken care of, so that, they can be okay and so that they don't bother me, and basically go to bed as soon as possible. I know, my gosh, so it's so shameful to admit, but again, if you resonate, say me too. I yelled a lot. Because when you are out of balance, when you are misaligned emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, then obviously you're gonna feel like shit, and that is going to be manifested in just losing your temper, losing your shit more and more. And so that happened to me. I yelled a lot. I've made myself basically a slave of my household. So as somebody who really, I was raised as, my mom always praised us, and I remember this, the best blessing that she gave us for the kids too, because I also come from a family of 3 girls and I'm the oldest. My mom's best blessing for us was always, may you get a good husband. May you be blessed with a good husband. And I did. God, thank goodness I have an amazing husband. I have an amazing family. And so I believed, and I still do believe, that in order to be the good wife, the good mom, I need to completely give myself and dedicate myself to my household. And so I became a slave basically of my house. I was drowning in logistics. I was ashamed to ask for help. The laundry, the cooking, the cleaning, the keeping everyone and everything in order was just overwhelming. I had zero energy for my passion, which is my work, which is my service, which is my gift from God. I keep hearing this from my clients that, Dorit, this is your genius. This is what you should be doing more of. But honestly, I just had zero time and energy for. The reason that I'm here means that it's good, that it turned out okay. And I learned how to make it more sustainable for myself. But this is basically how it looked like for me. I didn't have any energy for my marriage. My husband wanted to have more sex, but frankly, sex was the last on my list of priorities. And if you resonate, give me a thumbs up. And then the worst thing, I feel like the worst piece for me was my health. My health started to decline pretty early, or at least for me, I just had the awareness. So I'm in my mid 30s, I'm 35 now. And so 5 years ago, I was 30, I was just 30, so young. And so my hormones were imbalanced. How is that indicated? Basically, so my period started, it was always super regular and all of a sudden became totally irregular. One day it was 24 days and then the other was 36 days and then every 2 weeks it was like completely out of balance. My periods became super heavy. My blood became like just so dark, like the color became darker and the consistency was gooey. It was almost like it was sticky, my blood. And also I had many clots in my blood. I also started having some thyroid dysfunction. So my hair started falling out. I was, like I said, I was overweight, but unable to lose the weight. So the thyroid is the hormonal gland that is responsible for metabolism in the body. So that made sense. My skin, like I said, was breaking out. I had extremely low energy. And so all of those things are examples for thyroid dysfunction. Also, eating. Oh my gosh, today we are talking about day one is we are talking about food, and we're gonna get into more greater detail about that in a minute. But food was, oh my gosh, let's say it in one simple sentence, it just became a chore for me. A chore. What should I eat? How much? How often? I literally became afraid of food. I started at some point avoiding food altogether because I was so confused, and there was so much information out there. You know, this is good for you, this is bad for you, this will sustain you, this will nourish you, this is good for the skin, but it's bad for this. It was just like a complete chaos. I was completely confused and I started just avoiding food. But since, you know, we all have to eat, I was basically drawn to eating the trio of what's easy, quick, and convenient, right? And if you resonate, give me a thumbs up and say that, yeah, me too. As a busy mom, we are all drawn to easy, quick, and convenient, right? So I was, the majority of my diet were things like bagels with cream cheese or crackers or chips or too many grains and too little healthy fat, too much animal protein, especially, you know, I am a Middle Eastern and our diet is full and very rich in, you know, chicken and meat and fish and all that stuff. And that is super easy to make. That was the alluring thing for me. As a busy mom, you know, if you have fish and you have chicken, super easy, like 30 minutes, you're done and you have a meal. Everybody is satiated and everybody usually likes it. But the problem is that I started manifesting symptoms of protein toxicity. I'm not going to talk about this today, but just know that there is something like this, like this out there, and that is basically eating too much protein. Too much animal protein, I have to say. And then, you know, I asked myself, should I become vegan? Should I become a vegetarian? Should I be keto and paleo and all of those things? And all of this dogma, I was completely overwhelmed, burnt out, confused, and just like I was losing my mind. So I was asking myself, what was the best way for me to feed myself, not just as a human being, but as a woman, without getting a degree in nutrition? And here's the irony, you guys. I am a freaking nutritionist. So I do have, it's not a degree, it's a diploma, but I still have enough education about nutrition to not slip into that pothole. But the problem is that what I've learned was not, it's not designed for busy moms raising young kids and young families. And that's where it was really hard for me. I really struggled. And my way of coping with it was just avoiding and kind of forgetting and saying goodbye to nutrition for the little while. So even I, like I said, even I was confused and I was resisting eating healthy. So how could this happen to me? I knew the importance of food and nutrients, and I revere Mother Earth so much. And I know that food offers amazing, the right kind of food obviously, offers healing powers. And so what was happening, I was in a desperate search for a better and easier way to live, eat, play, work, mother, call it whatever you need. I needed a system, I needed a framework that will help me to make all of this chaos of my life simpler and easier. I craved more simplicity, I craved more ease, I just craved more flow. And I knew that it was possible because I'm a believer. I believe in God and I believe in higher, intelligence. And I refuse to believe that God would create us to struggle like this. It just made completely no sense to me. And I had this, this idea of what if, my lifestyle was something that I have inherited. It's not something that is normal, quote unquote, for all women and all mothers out there. It's just something that I've inherited because I knew that there were women out there that did not struggle like I do. What if there was a better, easier way for women to live, love, work, and play? And so the problem was when I looked around, at women in my community, I've seen it all around me. They all struggled, they all suffered, and they all kind of basically, the message was pretty clear. And if you resonate, please give me a thumbs up. The message was clear. This is your season of life. This is currently where you're at. So just swallow it, suck it up, and keep going. And I said no. I refuse to believe this because I want to actually enjoy my youth. I want to enjoy my children's childhood. I know that this is possible. So if that means I need to change, I will change. Okay? And so that's basically when I immersed myself in learning about divine femininity, about energy, sensuality, sexuality, magnetism, cyclical and sustainable living, minimalism. And that was when I discovered the brilliant work of Alisa Vitti and her called The Woman Code. So the book is called The Woman Code. And this book is basically focused on the power of food and eating cyclically. So eating in alignment with your menstrual cycle, as opposed to eating linearly, meaning eating like a man or eating whatever whatever you have available for you. Actually making your eating intentionally in alignment with your cycle. So that changed everything for me, right? So she talks about food and she also talks about hormones and how that is changing in alignment with everything that you do. Oh, by the way, I wanted to add for those of you who are new to this concept, this is brilliant. I know, and I see people commenting, love it. Yes. For those of you who are familiar with this concept, this is also known as cycle syncing. Okay, so eating in sync with your cycle. And then another brilliant book that I discovered was by Alexandra Pope and Shani Hugo. And I mean, I think this book is revolutionary. Every single woman needs to read this book. It's called Wild Power. And that is really focused on the energetics around your menstrual cycle and the concept of menstruality and menstrual cycle awareness. It completely blew my mind. I mean, where was I and why wasn't I taught this stuff? And then the work of Dr. Christiane Northrup and Kate Northrup and many others. And you guys, all of these women are mothers. Most of them are wives, and they're all super successful, kick-ass business women. And I wanted to be like them. I craved nothing more than this. I wanted to be, this amazing wife. I wanted to be this, I still do. I want to be this amazing mom. And I also know that I can have this awesome kick-ass business where I express myself creatively. It also, it nourishes me, it feeds me, it also allows me to live abundantly without totally killing myself. And this is available for you too. Yes, thumbs up if you agree. Awesome. It is possible, and all that means is that you need to change. And change, yes, it sucks, we don't want to change, but what if you can actually leave a legacy of abundance and femininity and just joy and pleasure for your children, as opposed to what I've inherited, which was burnout and rushing everywhere and stress and anxiety and all of those things that are, yes, it's okay as someone who is having a human experience, it's normal to have, but not all the time, right? Okay, cool. So let's continue. I'm just scrolling in my notes because I'm obviously getting off a tangent here. So I have reached this point. I was done basically with struggle and suffering, and I was ready and I was willing. That is important. It's not enough to just be ready. You need to be willing to change, and you need to be willing to do the work to change. And this is how my fourth baby was born, my sweet little baby. So no, it's not my human baby. It's basically my feminine current framework, which basically encompasses a little bit of everything that I've learned, a little bit of the work of Elisa Vitti, and a little bit of the work of menstruality and menstrual cycle awareness, as well as my training as a holistic nutritionist. And all of this stuff is really designed to help women, moms, wives to live beautiful lives, to live sustainably, to live with joy, ease, and flow. And basically this framework is all about eating cyclically. It's about revering the energetics of your menstrual cycle. It's about understanding your hormones. It's about sleep and really making sleep a priority. It's about understanding how to decode your poop. So I talk about this as the power of elimination, because remember, constipation is the mother of all disease. And also, of course, it's about increasing your libido, improving your libido, and stepping into your power as this magnetic force of nature that is irresistible, especially for your partner. Okay, and this is basically how I came up with the female daily tracking sheet. And I have to say, ladies, this was a total download from like a higher power for me. It was just one random Saturday where I stayed home. My husband took the kids out, and I took my notebook and I started scribbling, and this baby was born. And so if you have this, by the way, for those of you who do not have a copy of this female daily tracking sheet, you must register for the challenge in order to get it. So head on over to www.healthbeginswithmom.com/challenge and sign up. So if you scroll below, there is a place where you can put your name and email, and that will enter you into my email list that is only exclusive for challenge participants. And that is where I share a copy of this sheet. So if you're new and this is the first time you see this, make sure you register, and then when you get access to this sheet, print off 5 copies. So for each day of the challenge, you will need a brand new copy of this female daily tracking sheet. Okay, and so this baby of mine is basically the framework for all the work that I do with women. And this is where we basically discover and uncover the 6 female markers, which are, so if you look in your sheets, they are food, energy, and emotions, your menstrual cycle, so where you're at in your cycle in terms of like menstruation, sleep, so the importance of resting and slowing down, libido, and elimination, so poop, and check this out, ladies. What came out of this was the word female. Like, how amazing is this? I'm all about helping you to thrive as a female, and female is actually the abbreviation of food, energy, menstrual cycle, at rest, which is sleep, libido, and illumination. How amazing is this? Totally a download. Okay, I'm totally excited. But it is, I do believe that this is the tool. This is the tool, and it will blow your mind. It will totally change your life. And so if you really stick with it, I promise it will happen. Okay? And that's when basically everything came together for me. It all started making sense. It's almost like I had this huge piece, a piece of this puzzle that was missing, and I just needed to learn it. And when I allowed myself to to open the door and educate myself, that's when everything just made sense. Okay? I finally found the best, most sustainable way to live as a woman, as a wife, and as a mother. And that is what I want for you too. Okay? And this, I know it might sound a little crazy right now, but I promise it will make sense each day that we go along with this challenge, because each day we will be building on the different 6 of these markers, of the female markers, and each day you will get a new aha moment, hopefully, and you'll see how they're all interconnected between one another. So today we are talking about female marker number 1, which is food. So if you look in the sheet, and again, for those of you who are just joining and you don't have this sheet, you need to get this sheet in order to continue with the challenge, okay? You need this sheet, and you need a piece, and you need a pen so that you can start using it. And so to get it, you need to go to, if somebody can please, I should have thought about this earlier. If somebody can just share the link below in Instagram. So I see Evelina, I see Martha, I see Crazy Photo Booth, whoever, if you can please share the link for the challenge below for the ladies to just click on it. The link is www.healthbeginswithmom.com/challenge, and just head on over there, register, and you will get access to this sheet. Okay, cool. So as you see, you see a circle around, like the biggest thing you can see here is a circle. And so this circle is where we are going to start recording the food that we eat every single day. So food is supposed to not only sustain you, but also to nourish you, right? Food is supposed to taste good. If it doesn't taste good, it's just, it's like, for me, it became a chore. I just whatever, I need to eat, so I eat. And I do believe that food is a form of life's greatest pleasures. If you just, if you've seen people who overeat and who really use food as the ultimate pleasure, and I come from a Middle Eastern culture, and I know what that is, you know what I mean, right? So it is so easy to overeat, to undereat, to eat emotionally, to stuff yourself with crap just because you are starving, to eat junk, to eat your kids' scrap all the time, or to eat food that is cold. It's easy to do, right? And so I understand that as moms, food can definitely seem complicated unless you learn to eat cyclically. Okay, and that means, like I said before, eating in alignment with your menstrual cycle. By the way, I have to add this here. If you are not menstruating for whatever reason, if you're already in menopause or if you are pregnant, you still are cycling. So don't fall into this false belief that if you don't have a period, you are not living cyclically or in this rhythm. You are. We all are. We are all living in alignment with the moon. And even in the religious scriptures, for those of you who know what I mean, men and women are associated with, the sun and the moon. So the men is associated with the sun, whereas the woman is associated with the moon, right? In Hebrew, it says levana. And so what's interesting is from the research, it completely blew my mind, but it makes so much sense because men are also cycling, but the cycle of a man is a 24-day cycle. And that makes sense because they respond to the sun. So testosterone, which is a male hormone, it responds to the sun. So sun is up, testosterone is up. Sun is down, testosterone is down, right? So it makes sense. A man can start his day feeling amazing, jolly, do the things, have high energy, and then when sun is down, their energy drops, and so a man will come back home, watch TV or whatever, just start to unplug, and then they'll go to bed. The next day, they will most likely wake up refreshed and energized anew, right? For a woman, it's different. We are not aligned with the sun, although we do respond obviously to the sun, but we are on a different cycle. We are on a lunar cycle. And the moon is on a 30-day cycle as opposed to a 24-hour cycle. So that explains why women can, go to bed, wake up, and still not have the, top energy, or still be grumpy, or still not forget things that happened yesterday. It's just that our cycle culminates every 30 days, not every 24 hours. And so when you understand this, there is no room for blame, guilt. What's wrong with me? Why can't I get this together? Why am I so, why am I not a nice person? Why am I this? Why am I not? Drop this idea. The real reason that you are struggling is just because you don't embrace the fact that you are a cyclical being, especially as a woman, especially even more so as a woman that has a menstrual cycle. So what I've created here is a 24-hour clock. And so what we will be doing is every day of the challenge, we will be addressing only one female marker. So today we are addressing only food because I really wanted to keep this simple for you. I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want to overcomplicate this for you. And so today I'm not even asking you where you're at in your cycle, because I'm aware that a lot of you don't even know. So that's fine. So we will get there. On day 3, we will be talking about your menstrual cycle and how to eat in alignment with the cycle and all that good stuff. But today, all I'm asking you to do is just start recording what you eat and drink in a day. Cool? Okay. So here's how it works. You see the cycle here. And so let's say you woke up at 6 a.m. today. So if you're like me, you will start your day with water. So I drink half a liter of water with lemon, sometimes it's apple cider vinegar. I dump all of my supplements into my morning water, and that's it. So I would say around 6:30, that's when I had my water. Then the next step is breakfast. So around between 8 to 9 a.m. is when I'm hungry. So I would eat my breakfast. So I write this down here. And then around 11, I'll have a snack. And then between 1 to 2, which is now, I'm supposed to have my lunch, but don't worry, I had my lunch already. And so on and so forth. And that's how I want you to start recording what you eat in a day. Eat and also drink. Super important. I don't need to tell you this, right? You need to keep hydrated. And so that's how we are going to be recording our food every single day. Now, the beauty in tracking your eating in a cyclical form, right, in a circle, is that it will show you the gapping between your meals, right? So if you see that, let's say you had breakfast around 8 and then your lunch was around 3 or 4, lady, that's too late. And that means if this is a pattern in your life, that means that your blood sugar is completely out of whack, and that will be manifested as, emotional and lack of energy or agitation and all those things, which we'll get to tomorrow. Okay, so it's super important. I want you to pay attention. As a woman, you need to be eating every 2 to 3 hours, right? And so I'm not talking about big, heavy meals. That's not the point here. The point here is that you need at least three, satiating, good quality meals in a day. So let's say breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then in between, you need good quality snacks. So things like dates, things like trail mixes, things like avocado maybe. Just, half an avocado and eat it with a spoon. You can have some raisins with some pumpkin seeds, or even what's the name of the other seeds? Whatever, you got the point. Seeds. And so sunflower seeds. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So snacks are important, especially for us women, especially for women who have hormonal imbalances. Super important. I don't want you to let this slip. If you let this slip, then you will yell more, you will be agitated, you will be, let's say at 30% capacity, you will not you're not gonna live up to your highest potential as a woman, as a wife, and as a mother. And as a result, you're gonna have no interest in sex. And so if you want to have this, if you know that your partner is pissed off and they need you to take better care of yourself, then this is how it gets done. Food is the first thing. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but it is an important component. All right? So like I said, yes, start tracking, pay attention to the gaps between. You need to eat every 2 to 3 hours, and also you need to keep hydrating, okay? Hydrated. Also, I want you to start just thinking, inside of the Feminine Current course, I go much deeper into this. But for now, I want you to start paying attention to how you feel before and also after you eat. Doesn't matter what. I'm not telling you, eat this, don't eat that. That's not what I'm saying. You make the choice with the food. You keep that the way it is. The only thing I'm asking you to do is start tracking. And I'm telling you, just the act of tracking your food will blow your mind, right? You don't need to be a nutritionist to say, oh my gosh, I've eaten this, bag of chips last night, and this morning I woke up grumpy and low energy. Like, you don't need me to make this connection, but you will need some help to make connections between other things that are happening in your life, okay? In between, let's say, your bowel movements and your energy levels and your libido. In many cases, it would be like the last thing that will show. Because you have to remember, the body will always prioritize the most essential organs, like the heart, the liver, the kidneys, and that's where your energy will go first. So all those things like fun and even healthy skin and aging gracefully and a libido, all those things are kind of secondary for the body. Okay, and so you must remember this. If you want to increase your libido and have a healthier sex drive, then you must pay attention to the food, to how you're feeding yourself and how you're nourishing yourself. Okay, and so that's it. So for now, I want you to start making these connections between how you feel and how you eat. So do you feel energetic after you eat, or do you feel sluggish? Do you feel alive? Do you feel do you feel depressed? Do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? Do you feel like all of those things are related to how you eat? And so I want you to start making these minor, tiny, teeny connections, okay? And that's it. That's all I'm asking you for day number 1 of the challenge. And for the next five days, like I said, I will be inviting you to join me for the version of the full Feminine Current course, where, like I said, we will get into a greater detail about cycle syncing and the menstrual cycle awareness and menstruality and the feminine current and living in alignment with your rhythm and cycle. Amazing stuff. And I will obviously also, inside of the course, I will provide you with the recipes and all the the meal plans and all of this amazing stuff that will help you to actually do it, not just to know how to know that it's important, but actually to do it, right? Because it's one thing to know, but it's a completely different thing to embrace, knowledge and actually implement what you learned. And that's where change happens, right? So, and I want you to do this, and I've designed this entire course and this entire challenge in a way that feels easy, in a way that feels flowy, because as women, there's nothing more that we crave in our life. We all crave simplicity, ease. We want things we want to do, we want to show up, but we want things to just feel effortless for us, right? And also I wanted you to remember that inside of the Feminine Current course, if you choose to join, all of the recipes are designed with the busy family in mind. They are all super, super easy and simple to make. They're 30 minutes to make or less. They are one bowl when possible. I love one bowl recipes. There are some of them are made with 10 ingredients or less, so that eating is not complicated, so that it's not complex and complicated anymore. Okay? And that's it. That's all I have for you today. Make sure to start. So for today, for me, I'm in Eastern Standard Time Zone. So for me, I'm already, past lunchtime. So I will, and I do this already for 5 years. So I do have the tracking of my food. But for you, you can start. Let's say you're gonna have lunch now. You're gonna start recording your lunch, and you will do this inside of this inner circle over here. So this is Instagram, this is Facebook, okay? Inside of here, this is the area designated for food. So you have to record what you eat, what you've eaten today, and what you have drank today. And tomorrow, you will be continuing to record your food along with energy. So every day we will be adding on. And that's it. If you have any questions, this is the time. Let me know. I'm just gonna scroll a little bit and see if there are any questions. Other than that, I'm done. How much time did it take me? Okay, almost 45 minutes. Cool. Ladies, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself, for your children, for your relationships, and thank you for believing that it is possible. And it is. I promise that it is. I've done it for myself, and I've helped my clients to reach there too. And I cannot wait to share more of this amazing system with you. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Health Begins with Mom show. I love hearing from you, so please post your comments and questions over at healthbeginswithmom.com/podcast. If you love the show, please share it on social media and in your real life with other moms who might enjoy this content. And if you have a burning question or topic you'd like me to hit on the show, just drop me a line at Dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com. And if you love this show and really want to support it, please go to iTunes, write a review, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Much love and many blessings.